Today, I'm going to be talking about episode 5 of season 2 of Beyond Oak Island. And this episode is called The Lost Josephine Mine. The Laginas and Maddie Blake offer their help to a team of treasure hunters in Utah as they search deep underground for billions in gold at a site believed to be the legendary Lost Josephine Mine. The Josephine Mine was a mine that Spain had possibly the 1600s to around 1814. Because when the conquistadors and their people were looting the Aztecs and Mayan people of their treasure and stuff, the Mayans and the Incan, they moved more into what is present-day United States. And they hid some of their treasures there because they didn't want the conquistadors and Spain getting it. What ended up happening is the Spanish were mining from Louisiana, the farthest point they had in the U.S., what is present-day Utah, and they had some other spots in California. During that time, every year, Spain was pulling 2 million pounds of silver a year out of these mines, and probably millions of pounds of gold as well. And they had slave laborers to go down in the mines and dig up the gold for them. The last time the Lost Josephine Mine was open was in 1814, and the mine manager from Spain, he and his guys had to leave Utah and get back to ocean so they could get home, because if they didn't, they were going to be killed by the indigenous people because they were revolting all across those mine sites. And the mine manager, when that happened, he wrote a detailed map and all kinds of details about the mine and how he left it. There was a wood door that he shut off in the mine and locked. What ended up happening was he took that information home with him because he thought he could come back at a later date and retrieve the gold that was dug up. When he left the mine, there was 72,000 pounds of gold, which is about 1,152,000 ounces of gold. And in today's market, gold is trading at $1,801. So in today's dollars, that is about $2,074 million worth of gold that it could potentially be behind that door. The guy who owns this mine is Gary Holt. And he's been a treasure hunter and miner for years, and he thinks the mine he's on is the Lost Josephine Mine. And he's 85 years old, so he can't go down in the mines anymore, so he's hooked up with Terry Carter, who is also a treasure hunter and someone who's been kind of mining old mines and locating Spanish artifacts in those mines and stuff. A couple episodes back, I was talking about the lost treasure of Sam Bass, and that show had Gypsy Jules in it, and she was the one who let Maddie Blake know about the Lost Josephine Mine. She went on this expedition with Maddie Blake, and after the meeting with Gary Holt and Terry Carter, Maddie Blake 3 days later went to Utah, and he met Gypsy Jewel, and they went up to the mine site, which is in Hoyt Peak, Utah, and I think the mine is called the Pueblo Mine, something like that right now. Tom Beardall, in 1970, he and his two brothers, they were miners, and they went down this mine, which is potentially the Lost Josephine Mine, and they went down into the mine because they found an entrance to it. They went through the tunnel, they got down, went through like one chamber, and then they went through a really tight space. Then from there, they got down to another open space. Then there was enough room where they could walk into a tunnel. From that tunnel, they got into a room. That room had a wood door to it. It was nothing that they had ever seen before, because that door was a sealed tight door, and nothing could get in or out of it. While they were down there, they basically followed the airflow to lead them through the tunnels, because that is a way to know that there was good air. If there's no airflow, there's potential for hazardous gases and other things that could potentially seriously harm you or kill you. Tom Beardall and his brothers had been down there for hours, and their flashlights were starting to run out of battery. Started to make their way out, and they thought they were kind of lost, but it ended up all well, and he and his brothers made a promise to never go back in that cave because it scared them. Gypsy Jules, Maddie Blake, Terry Carter, the mine manager, and other people, and a mine guide went down with them. The mine guide had a string with him, and he basically had that on him, and tied it off to the ladder that went down into the cave so they could follow the way they came when they went out of the tunnel. They followed the same room, and they had technology where they could see thermal images and see the airflow and stuff. They started following the cave, and everything that Tom Beardall said was correct. And then they got to a certain point, and that point the cave had caved in, so they couldn't go any farther. And probably just from that space, that's where the door was into. It would have opened up from that tunnel into a wide open cavern, and they would have been able to go in and see the door. They brought in LiDAR scanner, and they scanned the wall a couple times, and they found there was an open space in the back behind the cave-in. So they had a coring drill, and they drilled a hole through it so they could send a scope camera in to see if they could see the door or see what was going on. They did that, and the light could shine for 40 feet, and as far as that light would go, they'd be able to see. But they got the camera in, and then there was a rock like this, and then above that rock, a little ways from the camera, was an open space. They didn't have enough control to get the camera over there. So the plan for the future is Terry Carter and his crew they'll dig out the cave-in, and they'll get into the room, and they'll see if it is really the Lost Josephine Mine that, as of right now, has 72,000 pounds of gold, which is 1,152,000 ounces of gold, and worth about $2.2 billion as of right now. Maddie Blake got back to Oak Island, and about a week later they talked with Gary Holt and Terry Carter. And they showed them the footage that Maddie Blake had taken. They had enhanced it so it was better. They're like, we are planning on digging the cave-in out and trying to retrieve the gold if the gold is still there. That is the end of episode 5 of Beyond Oak Island. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of the Lost Josephine Mine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to hit the bell icon down below so you can be notified when I upload videos. Also, please share this video with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to smash the like button. Thank you guys for watching, and if you ain't dreaming, you ain't living. Don't forget to dream big.